It's fine. Okay, so last week we had some technical difficulties with the recording, which didn't record. So we're going to go through task standard 6 again to go through the assessment. So we're just going to briefly go through the scores and just give you some feedback as well. So for formative and summative assessments, I gave you 2.5. So you're definitely using formative assessments. They're well constructed for the most part. You're keeping your records up to date. You're continually doing the ongoing assessment, which is great. And you're utilizing the teachers in the classroom to help you. Something that I think we can improve on is the structure, which is what we discussed last week. So thinking how you can maybe differentiate your assessments to maybe simplify them for more basic learners, and for the more advanced learners, let them self-reflect. And just, thinking more about the structure, giving them a title, a date, the learning objective, the goal. So I think you're on the way with the assessments, and also having an assessment file so you can easily look back on and see how the children are progressing throughout the year. For the alignment of assessments, again 2.5. Last week your lesson objective wasn't quite as clear as it could have been, so I suggested you could, if you're going to have a learning goal, you could almost introduce it to the children. Today we are going to do this, this and this, and that will help them to make it clear what the expectations are with the children. But in your planning, I can see you do have clear objectives which relate to the the learning goals and the outcomes. So I think, again, that's why I gave you a 2.5, just so you can make the objective a little clearer. Feedback, 2. Because I think you're definitely giving the children an opportunity to self-reflect, but it's now how we make this feedback meaningful, how we use this feedback. And that's something I think we can improve, and also using a variety of different assessment tools, not always relying on 1 or 2 assessment tools. This will then allow you to maybe give different feedback. But I think again you're almost there.
And we also talk about approaching individuals.
Yes.
To give feedback, so it's more personalized instead of giving a general feedback to the class.
Yeah, because I think
I agree.
In order to set short-term goals for the children, each child learns differently. They're all at a different level, so they're all going to need personalized goals to help them just take that next step forward. And we want to be able to challenge our children as well. So I think giving them specific goals will help them, keep moving, keep challenging themselves and making steps. So I think, using different types of feedback, using your assessments to give informed feedback, these will help the children in the long run. Let's see, efficient use of assessments. So again, 2.5 for this one. You do tend to use either a checklist or an anecdotal. I think you can start to explore different ways of using the formative assessment. And again, it's now how we use these assessments to reteach, and it needs to inform your practice rather than just doing an assessment and then maybe having it in a folder and then not looking at it. It kind of needs to inform the next step, and that's where it ties in with the feedback. And again, last week as well, we touched on how you can differentiate and use different types of assessments for different children with different learning needs. So diversifying your assessments and accommodating all the different needs within the class. This will help you to then be able to set these clear goals for your children, because not all of them will be able to do, say like in your assessment last week, not all of the children will be able to self-reflect and peer assess at the same time. That's quite a difficult thing to be able to do. So I think the design of your lesson plans could be, and your assessments could be a little more tailored. And accommodation in assessments, 2.5. So again, I think ensuring that you are addressing the needs, the diverse learning needs in your class, using different types of assessments, particularly in the future if you have children with learning disabilities or who need additional language support. I think this is why we need to start making these accommodations with your students now, just so that you're prepared for the future.
I also have here, you said last time we need to use assessment as evidence. How do we differentiate it, and how do we accommodate the students? How do we apply our assessment in the planning and teaching? So but on the whole, I think your assessment practice is good. You're definitely doing ongoing assessment, the formative assessment regularly. It's now how we are going to use this assessment to set personalized goals, individual goals, and also how to differentiate this assessment. And also you gave me the advice to organize, like I should have different assessment files for children on an ongoing process, and I should include a formative assessment, not just showing the chart, like with the scores, because that's like the overall summative assessment, what results I got, and I should have the formative assessment to support that as well, like how they got there instead of just looking at the end results.
Because like you said from last week, it's the evidence. Like if you are going to communicate a problem or an area that maybe a child is struggling with to the parents, then you need to have that evidence to back it up. And if you have your assessment file, it's easily accessible. You can find it, and you can actually track any progress, or you can track, if the child maybe is in decline, if maybe their behavior is in decline, and that may correlate to the performance that's in decline as well. So having a file that's clearly labeled, all of your assessments clearly labeled, so you know the objective, you know what date it was taken, this will all help to have really strong evidence. On the whole though, doing well. Assessments are getting there.
Thank you.
Okay, so that was last week, a bit of a